Katie Kozlowski, and welcome back to the Cosmic Effect. I hope you enjoyed our very first episode, and if you missed it, you should go back and give it a watch. We talked about breath, the very first episode, and now I'd like to get into a little bit more of the details about what makes us a human being and how we function and how we can really use these tips and tools and teachings that I want to talk about to really change and implement in our lives so that we can live with flow and freedom and joy. And I'm all about ease and having fun. So one of the biggest things that I talk about with people is emotion, right? And people say, what is emotion and why do emotions rule my life? It's like they take over my life and then I'm out of control. So what emotion is exactly this: energy in motion. Think about it that way, energy in motion. So it's something that's moving through you, right? And so what that means is that if you have an emotion and it starts to rise within you, we have a choice to actually let it go. And one of my favorite things to talk about when I talk about emotion is anger, right? Anger is something that we all deal with. I know if you watched my last episode, I talked about my apartment, right? And how they were doing construction and there was noise and all I wanted to do was yell at everybody, right? Because it was making me angry. And yet, I know, because I've studied and I've learned that if I allow myself to get angry, I'm really only hurting myself because it's a choice. Anger is a choice. All of these emotions are choices. And when I learned this tip, this is something that I learned that's life-changing, is this: when an emotion rises within us, it typically lasts for about 7 seconds. That's it, right? 7 seconds, that's not a long time. So if you're still feeling, say, anger after the 7 seconds, that means that you're choosing to hold on to that emotion. And so I just wanted to give you a couple of other tips and things that you can try when you are in that heat of that moment so that you can implement the breath and then a couple other things that are going to help you get through the anger and get out of it as quickly as you can. The biggest thing that I think about when I find myself angry or in an angry situation and I want to snap at somebody or take somebody's head off, yes, I breathe, right? And then I actually do literally take the time to count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Am I still angry? If I'm still angry within those 7 seconds and I haven't been able to let it go, the next thing I do is I disengage, I walk away. And the reason for that is because when we're in a heightened situation, our emotions are rising. If we stay engaged, it's very hard to shut it down. And so I always encourage, find the nicest way possible and just say, you know what? I can't talk about this right now because I'm feeling angry. I'll come back to you when I feel calmer or when I feel better. There's nothing wrong with saying, I need a moment here, because when you give yourself the opportunity to take that moment, that is when you're going to be able to step away, the anger will subside, and then you can see things a little bit more clearly. It's just in the heat of the moment, it's like you get rage in your eyes or, like the goggles on and you can't see straight. And that's okay. It's just that we want to always be conscious and aware that we don't have to feel that way, and there is another option, and that is to just give yourself a moment. Now, I know that sometimes things are a little bit more complicated than that, and it's not just about one person. We have children, we have husbands, we have wives, we have bosses, we have colleagues, we have coworkers. There's a lot of people in the world and a lot of people involved in our lives on an everyday basis. And so sometimes it's not that easy to just walk away. You can't just say to your boss, like, hey, I need a minute, or to your kids when you've got your kids and they need you. You can't just say, kids, you're on your own, I gotta go take a break. And so in that moment, again, just being conscious and aware of having watched this and, having thought about it a little bit, I promise you, I know it seems like it's not enough, but it's enough to just bring you back to where you are and just remember that you're present, remember that you're there, that you're in the moment, and that you don't have to get angry.